Hey everybody, today we are talking about Peach Blossom Spring by Melissa Fu. Peach Blossom Spring is a story that spans 70 years, so if you are looking for something that's going to follow the same characters for like 1 year of time, this is not the right story for you. This is a story of a family that goes through several generations, starting all the way in the 30s with Meilin. She is the mother of a son named Renshu, and her husband went to war and didn't come back, but her brother-in-law did. They don't really know what happened, and so she was holding on to hope that maybe he would come back, that he didn't actually die. He just got separated from the group. He got injured, but he's being taken care of somewhere and he'll come back. But after a year or so, she finally starts to realize that she needs to accept that he's probably not going to be coming back. It takes her quite a while to really, really believe that, because of course you don't want to, but unfortunately in this situation, yeah, she is not able to reunite with her husband. And so she is and her son are protected by her brother-in-law Longwei, who insists that they stay with them and travel with them to different towns and places all around China, trying to escape this war. So they have to leave so that they don't get hit by it when it starts getting close to their town. So they leave in the middle of the night. They have to pack up all their belongings, get out of there, and only take the essential things. So she's very smart, Meilin is, and so she sews money into her clothing. So she's making sure that she's taking care of the things that are going to be really important to have, like money, and making sure that it doesn't get stolen from them. So we are following these two, Meilin and Renshu, through several years and several different locations where they finally think they're safe, and then they realize that they're not fully safe. And they go to many different places where it seems like maybe they can finally stay, and then they just end up not being able to. They have to go. They have to leave again. Eventually, they find somewhere that is going to be the safest place for them, which is in Taiwan. And so they have to leave. They have to leave the mainland, the motherland, to be able to survive. And so through all of this, the years are passing pretty quickly sometimes. Like sometimes it'll go 3 years later and then 5 years later. So you really have to pay attention to what is going on so that you don't get like confused with the timeline and everything. Really paying attention to how many years have gone by. I'm reminded of Pachinko because of the way that is written over several generations of a family. This one is a little bit less than that. Like this is about 70 years, but if you have read Pachinko, then this will probably be really like easy to slip into, because you're kind of, you know what to expect in terms of like how many years goes by when you're reading it. So eventually Renshu is old enough to start taking entrance exams into like being able to be qualified to go on to like college, university, and to get a really good job. And there's potential for him to be able to go to America. And so of course he is wanting to be able to do that so that he can thrive there, get a good job, get a lot of money, and be able to eventually bring his mother to America to be with him so that he doesn't have to worry about her not being safe anymore. Though where they've ended up is pretty safe in comparison, there's still always that risk that it's not going to be safe forever. And so he wants to be able to bring her home to America and make that their new home. As he's on the boat leaving to America, his friends say, hey, what's your American name going to be? You need to get an American name. And it's like, oh, that's like a fun idea. Like you get to choose your own name. You get to have two names. That's kind of cool. That's kind of fun. But really it's kind of like you're leaving one identity behind to create another. And in that sense, it doesn't seem very fun anymore, because are you going to lose yourself in this new person where nobody knows like who you really are? Because Renshu becomes Henry, And for the rest of the book, basically, he is referred to as Henry. His wife calls him Henry. And everyone in America knows him as Henry, except for those select few people that came there with him that know that his name is Renshu. And so you can kind of see that the character himself, he gets a little lost in that, like, separation of Chinese him and American him. And that's, I feel like that's kind of sad because he's afraid that he can't be both. And he's just so afraid. And it's, of course, has to be because of the mental health, like the state his health must be in because of all of the war he had to run away from growing up forever, that he just feels like there's always going to be something he has to protect his family from, or something that could cause harm to his mom, or like he just has this like constant state of fear to be able to fully embrace that side of his life. And it kind of creates some tension in his own family with his wife and his daughter. So we do have we also have some perspective of Lily, his daughter. And so we get to kind of see how, as she gets older, how she starts to take this, like, her heritage and what little she knows about it, because her dad won't tell her, like, anything. And it's really hard for her. And so we get to see her character grow and how she's able to cope and deal with that. And that is essentially where our story ends, is with her perspective. She's like the last. We don't have anyone after her that it really goes into their perspective or anything. I really enjoyed how the book ended. Definitely multiple different types of ways that this could end. It could be really sad. It could be really like a tragic ending. It could be a ominous ending, a ending with like things unresolved. There's just a lot of different ways that the direction of this could have been taken, and I appreciate the one that was chosen. I think that the ending was really a satisfying ending to me. And so, of course, a lot of books really rely on the ending for people to know if they liked it or not. Like, it really, if it has an ending that is not good, then it kind of ruins everything a lot of the time. So this book, I really do think, had a really good ending for what I was hoping for. A lot of things I was hoping for, some things I wasn't hoping for, but you can't win everything. But I do think that it did a really great job. And some of this book is inspired by the author's actual experiences of her growing up. And so I think that also makes it more powerful of a story, because you know that this is coming from someone with experience. Trigger warning here. There is a small rape scene in here, and it's like 1.5 pages long. Honestly, you could skip it and you'd be fine. Like, you wouldn't have to read it to put the pieces together to know like what happened enough. And it's only referenced like a few other times, very small, detailed, like later on, that I would not think that would be like, that should not turn you away from reading this. If you're wanting to know that, now you know. But really, you'll know when it's coming, so that you'll be able to be like, okay, and you just turn the page, and like the next chapter starts pretty much after like 1 page turn. You can just start on the new chapter and you're good. Don't let that keep you from reading this book, because if everything else about it sounded like something you like if you like historical fiction, then you're gonna like this book. So yeah, I still definitely recommend it. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.